Hello guys, welcome to the Racer Roundtable. Hope you're all doing well. And today's video is about Ferrari, a preview of Ferrari season. Now just a disclaimer, this is being recorded before preseason testing has started, so I may do an update in my overall season preview after maybe analysing what the teams have been doing, who's had issues, who seems to be decent, who seems to be good, who seems to be on fire, and we'll go on from there. But qualifying is obviously the first test as to who has what car, but we don't have that yet. We're not in the future yet. The present is now, and today's video is about Ferrari. And Ferrari seem to be very optimistic about their season, about their car. They've got Frederick Vasseur into the team. Great appointment, great appointment, better than Bonotto, and he'll run the team with some pragmatism. He'll have some freedom in terms of, like he said already, Charles Leclerc is not the number one driver. Both drivers will be treated equally, and then we'll adjust as we need to as the season goes on. If one driver is doing better than the other, we'll prioritize him if he has the higher chance of winning the championship. And that's the way to run a team, basically. Unless you're in a situation where, for example, Mercedes had with Lewis and Bottas. Lewis is much better than Bottas. Bottas has great one-lap pace, but in the race he just falls off. Lewis is consistent. Red Bull, they have Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen, 9 times out of 10, is doing better than Sergio Perez over the course of the multiple weekends. McLaren, Lando Norris, prioritize him over Daniel Ricciardo, who was absolutely gutter trash for those 2 years with some lucky race win. So he's playing nice right now because he needs to. Ferrari cannot afford to have infighting. Oh, Leclerc says he wants to be first, you need to prioritize me, blah blah blah, like he did at Silverstone, and then Sainz has to be the backup dancer for Leclerc when it wasn't fair at all. So Vasseur is coming in, being fair, being open, but also being pragmatic. I assume he will make some changes, not this season but next season, because he doesn't want to unsettle the cart right now. The season's almost beginning. You don't want to do that as the season is about to start. So yeah, all in all, he's a great appointment. As for Leclerc, he needs to get rid of these bozo moments that he has, this bozo gene he has, because he reminds me of a football player, and this football player is Harry Maguire. He's not as extreme as Harry Maguire, but he has his moments, because France, for example, made a mistake, crashed. You're leading, had a great chance of winning the race, crashed. You have Singapore as well, made a mistake whilst he was chasing Sergio Perez, and that ended his chance of winning the race. So, and there's more incidents as well, not just last year, but Azerbaijan 2019. There's so many incidents where he's made a mistake when he is expected to finish first or qualify first. The pressure gets to him. So he needs to get that out of the way. Needs to be more like Max, more like Lewis, where they do not make mistakes. Obviously, Lewis last year made a few mistakes, but he was also a bit unlucky. But he needs to be in that mindset, need to have that mentality where do not make a mistake at this crucial moment in the race, in the season, because it will ruin you. Like Vettel in 2018. That mistake in Germany, he was never the same again. As soon as he lost control and went into the gravel and crashed, Vettel changed forever. He wasn't the same. So for Charles, he needs to work on that, see a psychologist or something, and see if he can make less mistakes, because that is crucial. Max barely made any mistakes last season. Barely. So he needs to be on that level in terms of consistency. For Carlos Sainz, he needs to improve as well. He said the car didn't suit his driving style for the majority of the season, so he had to adapt a bit. But hopefully for his sake, he'll be able to adapt, or the car will be more within his range. And if it is, we'll be able to see what he can really do. Because I don't think he's on the level of a Leclerc, of a Verstappen, of a Lewis, of a Russell. I don't think he is. But I do think he is a bit above Sergio Perez. And I do believe that he could finish like a second or third in a championship. But I don't think he would win a world championship. I don't think he's that kind of material. I don't think he's made for that. I don't think he's fast enough. For example, Canada, he made a mistake towards the end of the race. And when he literally, if he didn't make that mistake, he probably could have won that race. He was close enough for DRS to try and overtake Max. But he just didn't have that little bit extra. When was the last time Sainz did a Lewis Singapore 2018 or Max, although Max crashed, but a Max Saudi Arabia 2021? When was the last time he did something like that? Either in a race situation or qualifying? I don't remember. I don't think there's even been a time. So he needs to work on that pace, work on that consistency, and try and get himself up there, because Ferrari will definitely need it for the Constructors' Championship. They really will, because 15 years without a title for a team of Ferrari stature is crazy. It's absolutely crazy. In that time, Sebastian Vettel has won a World Championship. Well, he's won 4 World Championships and dipped in that time. So they really need to get a move on, because 15 years is unacceptable for Ferrari stature. For Leclerc and Sainz, it's more about being there and getting the job done. And being that man, being that guy, because Max is not going to let up. He's approaching his peak. Leclerc, I don't even know where that guy is. Is he in his peak or not? I don't know. Sainz, I have no clue either. So we need to see what they can do when the going gets tough, when Max is on their tail, and how they would respond. Because if Leclerc keeps making these mistakes, if Sainz can't stay ahead or stay with a Max, then Ferrari really need to reevaluate what they're doing, because Leclerc may not be it. There's no guarantee he's the World Championship. I think he can win a World Championship, but there's no guarantee. Sainz, I do not think he is World Championship material. He could prove me wrong. He could. But Leclerc is Ferrari's hope. And although Vasseur is saying, yeah, they're equal, then they're both #1 drivers, basically, we're not going to prioritize anyone in the beginning of the season. Deep down, Ferrari, Leclerc is the chosen boy. He's the chosen one. So Sainz needs to be up there, prove that he is equal to Leclerc, if not better, and be that guy for Ferrari. If not, Leclerc will just stay ahead by default because he's the chosen one. So for Ferrari, they're very optimistic about their car. The car looks very nice. It ranks highly in my livery ranking. Stay tuned for that. The car looks very nice though, man. The livery and the car itself, it looks very nice. So it's a more extreme version of last year's car in terms of the side pods. So yeah, the car looks very nice. It ranks highly in my livery ranking. And we'll see if Ferrari are able to maximize results, not make strategy mistakes, because their strategy department was shocking last season. It was absolutely shocking. So we'll see what they can do off track as well as on track, and whether they can challenge Red Bull and stay ahead of Mercedes. So guys, let me know what you think. Do you think Ferrari are favourites? Do you think they will have the car to compete throughout the season, not just for the first half? Do you think that Leclerc will be able to stay on Max Verstappen's tail, if not surpass him? And do you think this year is finally the year where Ferrari win the World Championship, whether drivers or constructors? Let me know in the comments. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one. Goodbye.